Oke, bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, viewers. I'm Erlangga Nugroho, and you're watching IDN Project from English. So tonight we begin with a major story that has captured the nation's attention. A wave of mass demonstrations has erupted in Jakarta and across several Indonesian cities following a tragic incident that has shaken public trust and triggered widespread outrage. The protests, which began earlier this week, have drawn thousands of participants from student groups, labor unions, and civil society organizations. What started as a peaceful movement calling for reform has now escalated into one of the largest waves of dissent in recent years. Earlier today, protesters gathered outside the Indonesian Parliament Jakarta, chanting slogans and carrying banners demanding accountability and transparency from their leaders. The demonstrations was largely peaceful for several hours. Organizers report that crowds swelled as the day went on, with more students and workers joining in solidarity. Tensions rose late in the afternoon when police units began began deploying tear gas and water cannons to disperse demonstrations who refused to leave the area. The situations escalate rapidly after an armored police vehicle blew into the crowd, striking several protesters. Tragically, one of the victims, a motorcycle taxi driver named Afan Kurniawan, was killed instantly. His death quickly became a rallying point for demonstrators, fueling anger and instead intensifying the protests. According to reports from human rights organizations and local hospitals, at least 10 people have been confirmed dead following clashes between protesters and security force. More than 100 individuals suffer injuries, ranging from minor wounds caused by tear gas exposure to severe trauma from rubber bullets, and physical altercations. In addition, police have detained thousands of demonstrators, raising concerns about potential human rights violations and arbitrary arrests. Witnesses described scenes of chaos, with protesters running for cover as security forces advance. Video footage circulating on social media shows officers striking demonstrators with batons and using tear gas in densely packed areas, sparking criticism from activists and the general public alike. The demonstrators have put forward three central demands. The first, they are calling for an independent investigation into the conduct of police, specifically regarding the death of Afan Kurniawan and the excessive use of force. Second, they are demanding a reduction of luxury allowances and benefits for members of parliament, urging the such perks are deeply unjust at a time when ordinary citizens struggle with rising living costs. And third, they insist on greater transparency in government spending, ensuring the policies priorities the welfare of the people over political interests. Student leaders have stated that this movement will not end with mere promises, emphasizing that accountability must come with real action. Labor unions, meanwhile, have highlighted the urgency of economic reforms, noting that works are disproportionate proportionately affected by corruption and inefficiency in government policy. So far, the government has issued unlimited statements urging calm and calling for protesters to respect public order. Several members of parliament have expressed their condolence to the victims' families and pledged to establish an investigative committee. However, critics argue that these steps fall short of addressing the root causes of public anger. International organizations, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, have condemned the violence and urged Indonesian authorities to safeguard the right to peaceful assembly. Meanwhile, local civil society groups are demanding immediate accountability, warning that further delays could escalate unrest. While Jakarta remains the epicenter of demonstrations, similar protests have erupted in major cities such as Bandung, Yogyakarta, and Surabaya. In many cases, these gatherings have mirrored, mirrored the events in the capital, beginning peacefully before descending into clashes with police. Transportation networks in several cities have been disrupted, and local businesses have reported significant losses due to road closures and mass gatherings. On social media, hashtags related to the protests have trended nationwide, with the name Afan Kurniawan symbolizing the movement. Messages of solidarity have poured in from across the country, and even Indonesian citizens abroad have organized vigils in support of the demonstrators. Public reaction, public reaction to the demonstrations has been deeply divided, while many sympathies with the protesters demands on condemn the loss of life. Others express concerns over the potential for instability and economic disruption. Analysts warn that if the government one of the government if the does investor confidence and straining Indonesia's international reputation. Religious leaders and community figures have begun calling for dialogue between protesters and the government, stressing the importance of peaceful resolution. However, with emotions running high, finding common ground may prove difficult in the days ahead. Viewers, these protests serve as a powerful reminder of the challenges facing Indonesia's democracy. The right to free expression and peaceful assembly is fundamental, but it must be balanced with the need for security and stability. The death of Afan Kurniawan and the tragic loss of others underscore the human cost when dialogue breaks down and wars take precedence. The coming days will be critical as the government decides how to respond to growing public anger. For now, all eyes remain on Jakarta and the nation's leader as citizens demand justice, transparency, and reform. That concludes our top story tonight. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing situation. I'm Erlang Ganugroho. I'm Erlang Ganugroho. Thank you for watching and good night. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.